seconds of silence and...
Fred's ready.
There, no, you start. I'll be there.
What are you clumping around while I'm doing my intro?
There's going to be enough stuff in this intro that we don't have to do nonsense for the next 5 episodes. We should have done this the whole damn time.
Exactly.
Okay.
Hello, cocktail fans, and welcome to the Gentlemen of Elvian Leisure. And I'm Dave.
And I'm Jason.
And I'm Fred. Thank God we started.
Yeah, Fred had a very pained look on his face when I started talking. I don't know if he does that all the time when I start talking, but he looks very pained.
I hope nobody checks any of the video.
No, he's usually very agreeable.
I don't know. He's I don't know. I don't know if it's because we're doing it on a different day. Maybe a
This
little
one
bit
a little earlier in the day,
a
too.
little earlier.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I don't know. I figured I wanted to say something. And I had to wait till you were finished.
Well, of course, because I'm doing my intro.
Intro.
And I've been listening to other podcasts. So there's some that are really just radio.
Is he cheating on us with other podcasts?
I think so.
I'm not on other, not like Dave. Dave's actually you also on other podcasts.
I did one last week.
No, I haven't. This is the only podcast I do, so let's not,
there you
start casting aspersions.
No.
But I was noticing on this one, it's more of an interview format. The other ones are actually just radio shows that they turn into podcasts, and so they've got production values, they got edit, they got stuff going on. Oh, fantastic! But these other gentlemen is just a couple of yahoos, just a couple of actors, and they talk over each other all the time, or the guest will start to make a joke, and the other guy will, hey, it cut off the end of the joke because he thinks it's funny, and he's already laughing.
You think actors would know better? Because they, it's stepping on people's lines. You should know
That's
that.
true. Here's the difference between the improv talent who
Right.
know to give and take and actors who need a cue line.
So if they don't hear, they just keep talking. Or if they hear something funny, they say, "I'm gonna start talking right now." And so I was just listening to one, and and the guy it was another actor that they've worked with, and it was interesting, but I don't know if he could finish a whole sentence before the other guy started laughing or trying to one up the joke. I'm gonna crank the joke. Your joke is funny. I'm just gonna throw a little something on top to make it funnier before you've actually finished your joke.
Well, they need to listen to the Gentlemen of Elvian Leisure to see how a podcast is done.
Exactly.
Yes,
We take
Except for that part.
right?
Oops.
Well,
Oh.
Can we start over again?
sure. This is episode 1. The Gentlemen of Elegant Leisure.
Yeah.
This is actually and absolutely episode 83.
Mm-hmm.
And we are going to turn this thing around ideally the same day. If you hear this on Saturday, August 10th, 1919, what is this?
2019.
2019.
I got an old watch. We actually recorded this today.
Yeah.
But we uploaded an episode earlier today that was somehow lost in the ether.
Yes, it lost in cyberspace for a while. It's been rediscovered.
Yeah, well, rediscovered a lost episode.
Yeah.
We have theories as to why, but we don't actually know facts of why.
One of the theories I hear, when I was doing a little bit of research on it, is that Apple sucks. It was the one that came up quite often.
Yeah, that's a few people.
Yeah, it's a theory. I'm not sure it's true.
No.
Yes, well, I mean, I guess that's a theory. But the fact that it took everything else,
Yeah.
but that particular one?
Mm.
What I had read was that sometimes they just have issues.
Oh,
So people try to upload, they do what we did. They go through all their stuff. They check all their settings. They go, and then it just suddenly it goes boop, and it was them all the time. They had a little glitch that day, and so it just anyway.
Well, I don't think I'm going to blame Apple for this. I'm going to blame me,
Yeah.
even though I did everything I
So
think.
you could blame Apple because it seems to be kind of fussy about what sort of words you can use in.
Well, maybe. Well, yeah, that could be.
We don't know for sure.
If it turns out that it was an accent aigu.
Yeah, that's the word I was looking for. I can't remember what it was called. But yeah, that you took that out.
That would explain why the French cannot upload podcasts.
That's why it does not make any sense, because Palm, as it's called in France, doesn't have any problems or issues. so it could have been that, but there's another thing that I might have done, and this relates to the podcast story, in that I was on Sneaky Dragon's previous episode, episode 400.
Wow.
Those guys got to get a life.
Oh.
400.
Yeah.
And in the meantime of doing their 400 episodes, they did one of ours.
That's right.
They did. They got a job.
And they did Complete Beatles, where they went through all of the Beatles recordings. They did a Marx Brothers podcast, where they must have talked about all the Marx Brothers shorts and movies. They did a Tintin podcast, where they went through all of the Tintin books.
Wow, they're really for the minutia.
I had no idea that they did Tintin.
I know! And they got another one coming out soon that I won't mention because I don't know if it's official yet.
Oh.
And so, anyway, 400.
Wow.
And I mentioned to my cousin Dave, because he's sort of my only other person I know that I can talk to about podcasts. I said, have you ever had a time when iTunes did not pick up your podcast? And he said, no.
Lucky him.
Really?
And he said, did you upload it as a podcast? And I said, I think so.
What else could you upload it as?
Well, see, when I do it, because we're using slightly
Different technology.
different technology. We record it here on Audacity, and you save it as an MP3. I take it to my house, where I take that MP3 and I put it into GarageBand, do what I have to do with it, and then it has a little button that says share,
Right.
and it says send recording. I save it as an MP3 again. Do I save it as an MP3? Yeah, I do. And then it sends it to iTunes as a podcast. I'm wondering, did I hit a wrong button? Did I not send it to iTunes as a podcast in the first place? Did I just send it there as something else?
You sent it as a hot lunch.
I sent it as a hot lunch. I got
That's why.
that explains the thank you note.
Yeah.
Anyway, so those 2 episodes up today.
Wow.
Our 81 finally showed up on iTunes, although I'm sure everybody's already heard it. I know my Uncle Jack watched the video of it.
Oh, maybe that would. I should have done that.
And otherwise you could have heard it on the site in numerous ways. But now it's delivered right into your handheld devices.
I downloaded the MP3 to my phone, and I have no idea how to find it or where it went or how to listen to it.
Well, maybe it's harder than I thought. So we're back with 2 episodes.
We're back! Yeah!
What are we making today?
Well, you had a suggestion.
Yes, I had a suggestion. I suggested I came across a story, which I didn't know there was such a museum. I think it was called the American Jewish Museum or something in New York, and it was doing a retrospective of the work of Leonard Cohen, who's a Canadian.
Yes.
And apparently Leonard invented a cocktail called the Red Needle. And I thought, oh, it looks kind of easy, which we always love.
We love easy.
We love easy, and I thought, well, it'd be kind of a neat thing to sort of tie in, so that's what we got. I don't know what the other cocktail is. You said you found something that might complement it.
I did, well, in the fact that it is even easier.
Wow, you beat me. You always have to one-up me on cocktails.
If we can't one-up each other on jokes, we have to do it on cocktail. I heard that the 2 names for this drink, though, the Leonard Cohen one. I've heard it called the Red Needle, and I've also heard it called Red Needles. And that it was created when he was in Needles, California. Perhaps recording there for something on one of his...
There's only a gas station there, isn't there, in Needles, California?
It's not much.
Not much. Spike Storage is there. I know that. I didn't realize, well, there you go.
I must admit my research was done 15 minutes ago, in the 2 minutes before I left work to come here. And I wanted to print up a copy of it, and I was like, well, there's this one, and then there was one that was called Red Needles.
Wow.
Now, was he a heroin addict at any time in his life?
I don't believe so.
Oh, that's good. That would be a gross...
No, that'd be kind of a dark, I mean, he's dark, he's somber.
But he was a Buddhist.
He was a Buddhist, yeah. So, no, I don't think he...
Which isn't the same thing.
I think he may have had a little too much alcohol. He invented a cocktail. No, I'm not aware of him being drinking.
Are you aware of him being a Buddhist?
I am aware of him being Buddhist.
And he's Jewish?
He was Jewish. Well, he's Jewish. And Buddhist.
So he's a Judist?
Yes.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm more interested in the whole Needles connection.
Yeah, I know.
Because I've been through needles. You've been through needles.
I have been through needles.
I've been through needles several times.
Oh yeah, because it's on your way to
Las Vegas.
right.
Yeah.
It's not a lot there, but it's a nice little desert town, and you know, watch what you do with your fruit if you're bringing it across the border.
I had my first chili hamburger there.
Oh.
A hamburger
Mm-hmm.
with a big helping of chili on it.
Yeah.
It wasn't my idea,
No.
but I had it.
Whose idea was it?
My father-in-law.
Oh, I see.
He thought it was quite neat that you could have a chili burger.
Sure.
So I had one. What the hell?
I thought you'd ordered a regular burger and you scooped chili out of it right out of his
Yeah,
bowl. So
yeah.
now you got a chili burger.
Yeah, how do you like that?
Isn't that neat? That's why they call this town Needles. And he said, no, it's Needles, like the
No, it's
cactus.
neat. It's like it's neat. Needles.
Like the Needles.
Yeah.
Oh, so there you go.
So in Leonard Cohen's cocktail recipe, I got this learned how to make the red needle.
Yeah. Let's learn
Back
that.
in 1975, poet and singer-songwriter Leonard Cohen created a cocktail that he called the Red Needle, maybe, or Red Needles.
Yeah.
We're going to call it the Red Needle, I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah.
Here's how to make it. If you'd like to entertain your friends with a few red needles, which they call, and you feel you must have a recipe, here's something too smooth to go by. I don't know what that means. Into one very tall glass, which we're not going to do because we're just making itty-bitty ones, put about half full of crushed ice.
Yeah.
Then you put in 2 ounces of tequila,
Mm-hmm.
a slice of lemon,
Yeah.
and enough cranberry juice to top up the glass.
Hmm.
It says here to serve it with Montreal smoked meat sandwiches.
Oh,
Sounds like a
I'm looking
fantastic
forward to
idea.
that.
Now, what's a cosmopolitan?
Cosmopolitan's. Oh god.
Vodka and
Yeah, it's
cranberry
got,
juice?
very little, it's just a splash of cranberry juice. It's got. See, I've got my recipe in my head, and it's got grapefruit in it. But yeah, apparently the traditional one has got. I think it's vodka, tequila. Does it have rum as well? It's a real mishmash.
Sounds like a time for the internet.
Yes, I
But there
think
is
so.
something that is like a vodka and cranberry juice. It's
Yeah,
called
well,
vodka
it's-
and cranberry
There's
juice,
the vodka and cranberry juice, or what I think it's the crantini.
right?
Yeah, so that's vodka and cranberry juice and maybe a twist of lemon or something. The Cosmo is a little bit more involved in that, so and Dave will let us know what that is.
Excellent. But this is basically tequila and cranberry juice with some lemon.
Yeah.
Do you want me to squeeze lemon in or just put a slice in like he says? Why
Why
don't we do a little veggie wedge and give it a squirt?
Yeah,
And then we'll drop it in.
squirt.
So Cosmopolitan traditionally is a half ounce of fresh lime juice, 1 ounce of cranberry juice, half an ounce of Cointreau, and 1.5 ounces of vodka citron.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, supposedly that was.
It's the internet.
It was
It
right.
can't be wrong.
No, that's it. Right. So it was the introduction of vodka citron that sort of prompted the creation of that.
There you go.
I make one differently than that for some reason.
And you were thrown out of the International Barmen's Association because
It
of
really was, yeah. Because I insisted on calling it.
Was that guy's name? The guy, the Oscar Hamo?
Oscar Hamo.
Personally tossed you out on
He
your
did.
ear.
He did.
out on his
He
ear.
was 97 years old, but he's got a grip of steel.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no. Wow.
So let's put a couple of cubes of ice in here.
And so Dave's getting one of the little tiny
Yeah, I
glasses.
know.
Okay, good luck with that. Would you like me to do something for you?
No, I already
Is
did.
it prep work?
No,
No? Anything I can get?
You could vamp a little bit because you went to the Elks Hall in
Oh,
Tacoma.
did I? I did. No, I went to the Elks Hall in Tacoma, and that's quite the place.
I told you that it was quite the place,
Yeah,
though, didn't I?
and you don't lie about that.
No, that I did not lie about.
No. So no, we were there, and we stayed 2 nights, and I eventually got the passport, which just kept us busy, going from room to room getting stamps. But we had a few drinks. Our schedule got all mucked up, which is sort of what happens when you're trying to drink and get things stamped and hang around the town. You're eating at odd hours, and so. But no, we went to all the rooms. We found the secret room, and I didn't bring the mug from the old timey place. No,
The old hangout.
the old hangout. Yeah, I have a mug from there, which was my prize for filling out my passport. Funny story. I then put it through the washing machine in my shorts, and so it's disintegrated.
Oh, that is funny.
Yeah. But Laura talked to them, and I think they're going to send a replacement.
Very nice.
So we'll see if that actually happens. In the book it says, yeah, if you don't register it online, we'll never send you a replacement. But apparently if you tell them that your husband's an idiot, they'll cut you some slack.
All things are forgiven.
That's right.
Wow, this was so quick. You're too quick for my camera.
I know,
Yes. Into this drink, I put ice, then I put in, well, it calls for 2 ounces. I pared it down of tequila, and then I squeezed in a lemon wedge, and then I topped it up with cranberry juice.
I know.
Cranberry cocktail. Now,
To Leonard Cohen.
unfortunately, Dave, you might have to have a sip of mine. Try yours first, but I think because yours is such a... Cheers.
The proportions might be a little bit wonky.
Yeah, you might have got mine a little bit more tequila here. Is it good?
Oh, it's delicious.
It's got the Reposito's got nice, because this is, we use the Cazadores Tequila Reposito, so it's an aged tequila. So it's got a little bit of...
Little something.
Yeah, it's a little nice on the nose. It's a smooth tequila.
It is very smooth. I actually like this very much.
Yeah,
And
so do I.
tequila's often a scary drink for people
Yeah.
because everybody got really drunk on tequila.
Of course they did.
Or they got in that one of those deals.
Wow.
I've never been to Mexico,
Mm-hmm.
but one of my fears of Mexico. I have many fears of Mexico.
That's one of them.
One of them was some people I knew went on a trip, and this is not going to happen to me. And I can say no anyway. But
Yeah, you're good at
this
that.
was a story, and I saw the picture where they had taken people. It was on a tour. They'd gone from the resort to some place in town, and they had like a barber chair.
Yeah.
And they would put you in it, and then they would spin it and spin it and spin it or something, and then they would like put a funnel in your mouth and pour tequila in you and spin you and spin you and spin you again.
Oh my God.
And it seems like, as I say, you should be able to get out of this.
Yeah.
And yet, the fact that people were doing this and they had a chair set up.
I believe that's what the CIA uses in
Yeah, that's right.
to try and crack foreign spies.
Yeah.
It's the same basic thing.
Yeah, he used LSD, but
and just to be sure, they gave you a little LSD, but I think I'd crack with tequila in the barber chair. I think that'll do it for me.
oh my gosh.
So that's until Mexico can guarantee that that's not going to happen to me. I'm not going to their fair country. I hear it's lovely.
It's very warm.
Oh,
Not if you heard that.
did you want a sip of this to see if it tastes any different there, Davey?
All right.
I'll have a sip of yours actually for the hell of it because
It doesn't have that bite. Now maybe it's because of your fine cranberry cocktail from the good people at President's Choice.
the president's choice.
Le choix du président.
Oui.
Oui. But this is good. I guess because this tequila, or maybe it's kind of a complex, maybe a little bit. I don't know. It just got a lot of. It just seems that there's a lot more flavor there than 2 ingredients would imply.
Yes. Well, that's the cocktail. It's in the cranberry.
Oh,
Got apple juice.
you start with a cocktail, you add something to it.
Let's add some more.
That's a good point.
But it's a great way to drink tequila, I think.
Yeah. Oh.
Very civilized.
Here's what happens for, maybe you just said this, and after that I apologize because I really wasn't listening. I was thinking about a text I just got. Cranberry cocktail, I find, can sometimes be quite...
Yep.
Did you say that it had an edge as well?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
I didn't want to slag them, but it's true.
The tequila takes the edge off of that,
Yeah.
and it takes the edge off the tequila, and the lemon tastes like lemon and has no edge either. This is the dullest drink.
No edge at all.
No edge at all. Just
It's as dull as Leonard's voice.
Yeah.
hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
But you do need the lemon. I think without the lemon, it would be lesser of a drink. It's not like just an afterthought. I think it's completely necessary.
Yes.
I think the little squeeze, made a difference.
This is one of those dangerous drinks, I think, because this is the one that if you were to make it for the first time and you were at home, you'd say, well, geez, you'd gobble it down, you'd say, I'm going to have another one, not realizing that every time you had one of these easy drinking drinks, you're also getting 2 ounces of tequila dumped into you. So that barber chair in your basement starts to make sense.
Strap in your seatbelt.
Spin, spin, spin. So no, I am a fan of the Red Needle.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Thank you, Leonard Cohen.
Yeah.
Get him on the phone, would you?
He's the best. I was just gonna look and see, so you're gonna say something more about,
I felt like we've,
done it?
because there's an element of haste to this, which maybe we don't need to have, other than the fact that Fred has to go to a party and we gotta get this uploaded. And Dave has a Masonic Lodge meeting tonight.
Right, I'm gonna pass my Masonic rights tonight.
I don't want to gloss over anything. So you went to the McMenamins, Tacomas, and Elks, and you stayed 2 nights in that interior room, and that wasn't weird?
Yeah, although it's, my pet, it's weird because.
No windows look outside.
Wow.
They look out into the hall.
That's right. So, yeah, because it's, I guess it was maybe a ballroom of
I
some
think
sort.
so.
One of their 2 ballrooms.
Yeah.
And so they built like a little motel inside this atrium. And it's not that busy. Not that many people walking by at night.
Right.
But what I did find is it is because of where it is. They've got the blackout shades. It was the darkest hotel room I've ever slept in, and I also had no idea what time it might be when I got up. Anytime I woke up, because normally you sort of get a little, you get a little shadow of light past the curtains, right? So you can say, there's nothing there. Oh, it's coming up. Maybe it's 4:30. I can tell because there's just a shade, it's a little bit of nothing.
Right.
It could be 4 in the morning. It could be 6, 10, midnight, noon. You have no way of knowing what time it is, so it was kind of a weird thing that way.
Do they change the lighting outside in the atrium at all?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does dim in the evening.
Oh,
Because
okay.
they've got some lights way up that are sort of the daylight spectrum.
Yes, plus amazing
Plus-
lights. Those lamps.
Plus another 60 chandeliers,
chandeliers, yeah.
including the one from the Opera House in Seattle. We tried to find it. He said it's on this floor. We were looking around. We went up to the floor above and looked around, and I don't know if we can see it. And so, but we went back to the room, and I went to the room and I looked up. Oh, there it is. It's literally hanging right above where we sleep. I hope that thing doesn't fall.
Oh, that's a very good question. So in your room, what's above you? A ceiling?
It's a ceiling. So they built a little motel inside this room.
So you couldn't see the chandelier from inside your room?
No.
That's what I was thinking. So
Yeah.
they didn't put any roofs on? Oh, it's noisy as hell.
Yeah, no, it was quiet. It was dark. It was great. It's a tiny room, but no fridge. So you gotta eat, no leftovers. You gotta eat everything.
That's right. Or at least leave it on the table.
No.
Say, I'm going to come back down for this.
I'll come back down normally around 3:30. I feel a little bit peckish, so don't be surprised.
To see me wandering the halls.
I'll wear a robe. Don't worry.
Did you find the tiniest floor? There's like a 4th floor or something?
There's no 5th floor.
Okay.
We could tell.
Maybe that's the tiny. That's super small.
Yeah, I couldn't find it, and maybe one of the other stairwells went there, but not the one we were using. So, Laura did have a weird drink. One of them, she had a dark and stormy, which she likes.
Mm-hmm.
We did a dark and stormy. We had a darker and stormier too.
That's right. And then that's
So-
even darker. and
Even
stormy.
darker. And so it came in a glass about this big.
Okay.
So it was, the 2 ounces of rum and 3/4 of an ounce of ginger beer. So Laura said, this is just rum. And so she asked for a, garçon.
Yeah, she did that, and you didn't see anybody for the rest of the trip.
That's right. No, she said, well, that's not really. Can I get a little more ginger beer maybe in a taller glass? And the woman said, you want the rest of the bottle? No, I want a bigger glass and the rest of the bottle, and then I'll pour this in. And at that point, the waitress saw her tip evaporating, and so I'll take care of it. So she brought it out, and it tasted just like a dark and stormy.
Well, bless my soul.
I know, it's a weird thing that it would happen that way, but who doesn't know that a dark and stormy is a tall drink and not a short drink?
I don't know.
This one,
Ours was pretty short, wasn't it, when we made it?
well, I think, but we get the proportions right. So I mean, we do a scale version of it.
That's
scaled
true.
down model. But otherwise, the drinks are pretty good. But the old hangout was the best.
Yes.
As far as the drinks go, it is a mix-up though. It's not a tiki bar.
No, and I think that's maybe what I said.
You did.
It's an exotic
Yes.
It's got everything because it's got that Chinatown element. It's if they called it an opium den, you go,
Yeah,
this
makes
is
sense.
an opium den.
Ah.
Because neon from Chinatown as well as tiki stuff. It almost feels like, and I don't know what this feels like, 1950s San Francisco.
Yeah.
It's a see that.
You know, it's a port.
Right. Sort of multi-influences, cultural influences. Yeah.
Bingo.
Ah.
I'm just looking at my Instagram feed. It's the only way I remember anything anymore is what I post.
Oh.
I had the Day of the Dead cocktails in a tiki mug. A couple of jalapeno peppers for the horns. I think Dave might have seen that.
Oh yeah. That's
And
neat.
so this is what I get. So this isn't criticism. It's just if you think it's a tiki bar, it's more than that. It's got a lot wide variety. So this one had reposado tequila, ginger syrup, grapefruit and lime juice, and cayenne pepper and ground cayenne pepper, and then a cayenne pepper garnish. So it was had a little bit of a bite to it.
Right,
Little burny burn. Although I found the ginger syrup wasn't really as strong as I would have liked, but otherwise it was just fine.
right.
That was, and then what did Laura had? She had a Singapore sling, and it was actually pretty good. They did it the right way. So this is the old style. This isn't the cloyingly sweet version that we
Pronounced
remember.
coin, not cloying.
Sorry, I've been drinking it. The cloyingly sweet one with made with red syrup from the back in the 70s. So
So it would be more like a Raffles hotel.
it was, which I was surprised at, but it was really, really good. I also had a Corpse Survivor and a little bit too much absinthe, but you're gonna get that. It was still pretty good. It's Corpse Survivor.
I wonder what they use for absinthe down there. That would be interesting to know.
I'm trying to remember who. Let me just see if I can find it because I might have because they do a lot of the McMenamins like to use their own stuff, right? So that's their jam, and so they prefer to use. So if it wasn't, so if McMenamins doesn't have their own absinthe, I will just see if I can find that for you here.
Very
So absinthe's still illegal in the States, is it?
No, I think they brought it back
No,
there.
they realized that it was all just a horrible mistake.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't have that. We went to a few. We went to a few bars. Maybe I don't have the recipe for that. Oh wait. What's this? Sorry, this is the worst kind of radio. But just going to see if I can find it.
What do you mean? The fact that I'm texting and you're trying to look
Yeah,
at
something?
I'm reading. So anyway, I don't know who's, but yeah, there's a lot of absinthes available in the States now. So yeah, it could have been anybody's, but yeah, that was good. We had a few good drinks there. We tried to get donuts at the place up the hill. They ran out. They sold out of donuts, and so they closed.
Oh, I didn't know there was a donut facility in the area.
Yeah, I think since 1940 or something like that.
Mm.
So that was something we were looking forward to. It didn't play out, but I think we wandered around, looked at the antique road. There's some neat antique places. I'm finding it's got a bit of a early Portland vibe now.
I was going to say, because Dave used to visit Tacoma-ish, because he used to go to Gig Harbor all the time. Tacoma, I think the saving grace for Tacoma is the saving grace of Portland. Tacoma was too close to Seattle.
Yeah.
If you're traveling somewhere, you're going past it.
Going past,
right.
unless you're going to the airport.
Yeah. And Portland is for Vancouverites, you had to get past Portland if you were driving, unless you were going to Portland.
Yeah.
And Seattle is too close to Portland. And Tacoma's closer to Seattle, so it grew up in its own thing. It's got that great port, obviously, but Seattle has a great port too, so I don't know. I think it just got, I don't want to say it's bypassed, because it's certainly a going concern, but it has a different vibe.
Yeah.
Tacoma, Washington's Portland.
That's their new slogan.
That's right.
2019.
I did a little bit of reading because I wanted to see how it managed all these cool buildings, and a lot of them are still empty. But they're for sale now. So these guys, McMenamins bought it 12 years ago, bought this property for Anderson School.
Yeah, this has been in the works a long time.
But it was hard, so they did Anderson School first. And so it was $34 million to change that over.
Oh, I can believe it. I mean, it's amazing. What
It's huge, and everybody in the area is really happy about it.
I'm glad.
judging by the signs they hung on the buildings. Welcome, McMenamins.
Kitty corner on the backside. We got to get you down there sometime, Dave. Kitty corner on the backside. There's another old city hall or something, and that was going to be developed by McMenamins too.
Yep.
But now the project was even huger and more, and they had to back out of that one.
Right.
Maybe that could be something in the future. I don't know.
Like down the hill? That one with the clock tower?
With the clock tower, yeah, that was going to be it as well.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's easily like 4 times the size of this place.
Yeah, and they were going to do the boat. It would have been like if McMenamins built the Bellagio.
But it's cool. And there's a lot of stuff sort of popping up in the neighborhood. It's becoming quite an interesting little locale. But yeah, it died basically it really died in the 70s, and I guess that's when the Elks moved out.
Mm.
And then it was used for a bunch of other stuff for 20 years, but it had been empty for 20 years before these guys bought it.
Well, the pictures of it with the graffiti and the damage that had been done on the inside. It
I guess they're lucky that top, the roof must have held.
Yeah.
You know, all you need is that roof to go. But yeah, it looks great, and so I'd like to go back there again. Then we went to the car museum the next day. We went to a little cafe for breakfast. I know it was close to because it said no event parking in the parking lot, so it's close to where we were going to go. Called Alfred's. It's kind of a neat little place, bacon and eggs. The bar was already open, which is nice. It's one of those places with the bar and then the checkered, plastic tablecloths for all the tables and stuff. So
Nice.
you can get your chicken fried steak. There's no bagels. If you're looking for a bagel, no, you get sausage and biscuits, sausage gravy and biscuits.
Very traditional.
Yeah, very traditional. I did not have that.
Because it's hit and miss.
Because it was hit and
There's
miss.
always a bone in it. For some reason.
We had that one full day that we that evening we sort of packed a lot of drinks into a very short period of time, and so I was able to handle the bacon and eggs, but sausage and gravy and biscuits. But that was great. And then that weekend we came back. We had people over for cocktails, and we had 4 drinks.
Oh, I thought you meant back at the hotel.
Back at the
We
hotel.
met people and we had them over. That's wrong.
So we came back on Friday, then Monday night, we had a few people over. We owed somebody some drinks for taking care of our cats, or almost doing it last fall. And so what did I do? I did the Corpse Survivor. I did, Mulata, Buffalo Negra.
Oh,
We did
got
the
off your balsamic.
first time we've done that in a few years. The Buffalo Negra, Corpse Survivor, Vieux Carré, and Mai Tai. That
My tie, he said.
everybody was a little bit shaky the next day.
Good.
Well, we had 3, and I said, well, was that enough? I mean, I could do another one. And they, oh yeah.
That's the undoing.
Yeah, that 4th Mai Tai over 6 hours.
Too much. It turns out that the people that keep track of that kind of stuff.
Yep, they know what they're talking about. But they were all good. It was good. They never had. They didn't know these are younger folk. If they're listening, Rebecca and her husband Jesse, her guy. So they were unfamiliar with the tiki phenomenon completely, because they're in their late 20s, early 30s. I don't ask.
No. Because you're old, you don't care.
Nah, I don't care. But yeah, they said, what is it? I don't understand. They lived in Australia for 3 years. They never heard of it. And he was a bartender down there. Not familiar with the term tiki. Is that Polynesian? Well, it's a North American thing.
Well, true, I guess. But you think that some tiki culture would leak over into Australia?
Like authentic tiki culture.
Yeah.
Well, they just call it. I think they just call it Polynesian.
Oh, I guess they could.
Why would they call it tiki? Unless Trader Vic or Don the Beachcomber had been down there.
Not true enough.
But anyway, they didn't know. So I felt obligated to make them a Mai Tai and say, this is the
And to direct their next day. And direct it.
correct the next day.
Bless you.
Oh, thank you.
Anyway, it's been a busy couple of weeks.
Yeah, well, you know else who went cocktailing was young Dave Coyne here.
Yeah, I
who's
know, surprise, surprise.
Little
Huh?
fella.
who's
Yeah.
joined
not
our
today.
ranks of going to...
Clive's Classic Lounge in the Chateau Victoria in the wonderful city of Victoria. Our capital city.
Mhm.
Well, spill a little story about that while I throw this together.
Oh, well, I gotta take video while you're throwing that together.
Oh.
So I'll have to multitask. ask, I guess.
So what are you gonna do? He's
Well-
gonna talk, well, you can't, because you're gonna talk about how you're making the drink.
Why don't you make the drink and
Okay.
then we'll talk about.
I'll make the
We should have written this down. This is why we need a script.
So this is, I'll tell you this is the hottest new drink of 2013.
What?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Let me check the date on this podcast. I thought this is,
I found out about it last week.
Oh,
I was
okay.
already skeptical.
oh, sure, because 2013, people thought a lot of things were great.
This is, I don't even, a girl at work mentioned that her friend was going to the liquor store to buy this wine. This wine is $6.99 on sale at the
What?
liquor store. $6.99, which
Now
means
I'm
you can get it
skeptical.
in the States, it's probably free, based on the way liquor prices work.
Yeah.
It's called New Age, which I immediately disparaged already by calling it, it's pronounced newage, it rhymes with sewage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it can't be that good. It's a 5 on the sweetness level, so it means
Wow.
it's super sweet. It's low, and they say here that it's dulce naturel, naturally sweet. It's low alcohol, it's only 8.5%. And so,
Okay.
and it's a wine from Argentina. It says it's Argentina's most popular white wine.
Uh-huh.
It's a refreshing blend of 90% Torrontés and 10% Sauvignon Blanc.
Okay.
It has vibrant, fruity, and floral aromas of great intensity. Balanced acidity leads to soft, semi-sweet flavors. The slightly effervescent mouthfeel makes this an extremely refreshing, vivacious, and sensual wine, leaving you wanting more.
We're gonna mix that with tequila?
Exactly, well you could, actually. But the drink
Uh-huh.
is called either a tincho or a tinko. It's probably a tincho.
This is like the national drink of
Well, I did a little bit of research
Argentina?
on the New Age site. It's named after a beloved Bianchi patriarch, Valentin Eduardo Tincho Bianchi, who invented the drink one hot summer afternoon.
Huh.
Now I'm going to tell you,
Yeah.
it's not much of an invention.
Well.
But it's a good drink, and it's very much like the Red Needle in that you just have to dump crap into a into a glass.
You might have
Yes,
had a little bit of heat stroke.
Have you had one of these?
I have, because I bought 6 bottles.
Not that price, how could you not?
How could you not?
It's cheap at twice the price.
I had to try it first to make sure that it was, because it's barely a cocktail.
Yeah. Well, we're barely bartenders.
True enough.
Like little tiny
Yeah,
ice
little
cream.
yeah.
That's kind of cute.
So it actually has a little bit of natural fizz in it. And if you put it in a really cold fridge, the kind of cold fridge that will actually freeze part of your stuff, it will explode in your fridge.
No, that's not nice.
And if you're lucky enough to be standing there, you can clean it up, which is what happened to me. I was making coffee one morning, I heard this bang come from the little fridge, and I thought, what's that? And then I heard,
Oh!
and I went, what is that? And I opened it up, and that's what had happened.
Oh.
So there's a slight effervescence to
So
it.
your little fridge has a freezer?
My little fridge has a little tiny freezer up top. Yeah.
Oh, cute. Mine doesn't.
Oh, well then you'll never have the problem that I
I
did.
guess not. So what do you do with the lime?
I'm gonna make just a little, actually I cut it immediately wrong the first time. That's all right. I was just gonna make a little wedge, because it actually calls for about 1/4 ounce,
Mhm.
and whoever makes the lime, as we know, manages to get about 1 ounce into them.
Right. So how are you going to do that? Are you going to squeeze them by hand?
I am. I'm gonna do a half squeeze. And you know what's neat is, the other day the cat jumped on my hand, and I don't remember it until I either put on lemon juice or lime juice on my hand,
Oh.
or a little bit of mustard.
And what reminds you of that?
I don't know.
Oh.
I can't put my finger on it. Squeeze a little bit of lime in your drink.
Oh.
Whoops! And on Dave's table, we'll give Dave a little bit into his tiny glass.
Oh yeah, no, he gets a little tiny squeeze.
And then, I mean, it seems so wrong. You're not supposed to put wine over ice.
No.
But Mr. Tincho said, let's do it.
Mr. Tincho, or Mr. Newage, as we like to call him.
And it's a refreshing drink. And
And so you can get this anywhere.
I guess so. But I'd only just heard about it because of this secondhand story.
Sorry,
And-
what is it called again? The
Tincho.
And what are we calling the drink?
It's the Tincho.
Oh,
The wine is New Age.
Yeah.
right.
The drink is Tincho.
I thought that was the guy's name.
It's named after him.
Oh,
Jesus Christ.
I don't know. It's
Pay attention.
a lot of foreign names in there.
Oh, my hand stinks so much. That is a
Oh, well, it looks
All right,
good.
here's to Mr. Tincho.
Tincho with a T. T-I-N-C-H.
Tincho.
This is the classic New Age white Tincho.
T-I-N-C-H.
6 ounces of New Age white wine, a quarter ounce of lime juice, and garnish with a lime wheel or a wedge. Combine all ingredients in a large wine glass.
I mean, it seems easy enough.
It is.
Yeah, this nice.
It's surprisingly a refreshing drink. Well, it shouldn't be surprisingly refreshing. A little bit of a fizz. Nice sweetness from the wine that's cut with sweetness from the wine that's cut by the lime. And you sit outside and you drink this all afternoon.
Yeah. And crawl into bed.
There's a drink underneath it called the New Age Dry, which is 1 ounce of gin, pink grapefruit juice, ice, and then fill it with a New Age wine. So similar to the Red Needle in that it's a couple of thingy-doos and then top it up with this. But it's so low alcohol that it's okay. You know, tell that to the police officer. Say it was only 8.5%.
Yeah.
It's like a strong beer. Would you pull a guy over if he was drunk on strong beer?
Yeah, I think not.
Yeah, so, as you mentioned earlier, I did go to Victoria.
Yes, sir.
It's a fine city, you know. I kind of like Victoria. There's stuff to do and see.
Yes, Victoria, British Columbia, our capital, you know. A lot of people don't know that.
Yeah. I guess because the reason why it always seems that there's something new is because it's so goddamn expensive to get there.
Then you only go every 20 years.
You go once a decade, maybe.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I don't think I've been in years, probably a decade. And we went to, well, we did many things, but one of them was to go to Clyde's Classic Lounge in the Chateau Victoria Hotel.
Right.
And it's won all kinds of awards. It's the world's best hotel bar nominee, Tales of the Cocktail, 2011 through 2014. Canada's first Campari Red Bar, en route's top 5 places to drink in the world. What is old? I'm not sure what this means. What is old is new again. Best classic cocktail bar, the EAT Awards, 2012. Best bar, 2013. Great whiskey bars of the world. So it's won all kinds of awards. And yeah, it's decor-wise, it's very sort of, remind me a bit of sort of upscale English kind of bar. Not a tavern, but a much more upscale.
Yeah, they've got the big overstuffed chairs.
Yeah, they got big overstuffed chairs, you know, it's got a little bit of that British Baroque kind of feeling, but not overly done. So, yeah, so my wife and I had a drink each and an appetizer. It was quite good. She had the, I'm just going to look it up here. Talk amongst yourselves.
Well, I did look at the menu
Yeah.
while you were, when I knew you were over there. And I'm going to save them both because there's a bunch of crazy, interesting drinks that are doable, but just some neat stuff on there. So we'll hopefully do those in the future. I don't want to do them in the past because that just messes up the timeline.
Yeah, I know, you know. You know how Starfleet feels about that.
Oh,
Screwing up the time. My wife got the Legend of Jorge. You may say the Legend of George, but that's not really how it's pronounced. It's the Legend of Jorge, which was lime leaf infused vodka, Cointreau, pineapple juice, lime juice, coconut, white chocolate syrup, and an egg white. Just to fill it up.
Right. That's a lot of stuff.
That's a lot of stuff, and it was very nice. Our waitress, our cocktail attendant, maybe that'll go by anymore. She said, yeah, if you like a sweeter drink, which my wife does, so you'd really like the Legend of Jorge, and she did. And I had something called the Blushing Ginger, which had
yeah, I think I saw that. It looked like a good one.
yeah, it had ginger beer in it. I put loads of ginger. I was feeling my stomach was a little queasy, so I didn't really want anything too nasty.
You want something that could also be a remedy.
Yeah, something medicinal is what I was looking for. So yeah, but if you're in Victoria, I recommend to all our listeners you gotta go to Clive's Classic Lounge.
Yeah. No,
And it's super convenient to the Inner Harbor, which is where you have gone if you've gone to
If
Victoria.
you're already at the BC Museum, or
Yeah.
you've gone to the legislature, whatever the hell it's called, or
Yeah.
Inner
It's
Harbor.
just,
New,
That's what it's called.
new to the country.
sort of key corner from the Empress in the back.
Oh yeah, exactly. And was I right? Is that place with the windmill still there? The Greek restaurant with the windmill?
I think it is still there. It wasn't open, but I think it was still there.
Now, when I went to Clive's, which was 10 years ago this very night. No, I don't think it was. I think it was 2011 that I went.
Right.
Or was it? Yeah, it was. It doesn't matter. I thought that the decor was a little dated.
Yeah,
I
could
got a
see
vibe
it.
of about 1998. But like a lot of blue, a lot of aquamarine and a lot of blue. Is that still going on?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, okay, maybe they redecorated
It
it.
had
Yeah.
that sort of English, bar, library kind
Yeah.
of feel.
Yeah, a little, yeah, then they had a British sort of tinge to it.
Not too different from the
Really?
place we're at in New York. The place we're at in New York.
The snap
The
fingers?
snap fingers.
The square box?
Yeah, well, the round table.
The round table. What?
No?
No.
Dorothy Parker.
Oh, the Algonquin.
Algonquin.
Oh,
yes.
you see now that no, this was. Oh, I wish I'd taken more pictures of it. Like if you'd said that this was the Little Mermaid bar,
Mhm.
it was like
Yeah.
turquoisey blue and like round
Oh.
porthole windows and bubbles and a lot of glass and stuff. And I was like, what the hell is this?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm glad that.
You'll be happy if you ever get back there again.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's a little more refined now.
It's funny because that was so stupid. I was in Victoria the other day.
Sure.
Yeah.
I didn't think we were going to because it doesn't open till 5.
Mhm.
Right.
Yes, that's right.
Cocktail bars, and I thought we were going to be out of there
Mhm.
by 5, but we didn't actually leave Victoria until after 5, and we were drinking. Me and my uncles,
Mm.
Jack, Bob, and Bill. We were all there together,
Wow.
and I didn't even think to say, "Hey, let's go over here." We were drinking beer at Swan's, which was great,
Yeah.
and we had some stuff at Spinnaker's, which was great, and we also went to a place called the Canoe.
Yeah, no, you could
Wow.
easily fit a fourth bar in.
We probably could have, because nobody was driving, right? We had the bus, so
Mm.
the double-decker bus, which is terrifying to ride on, it just crashes through trees.
Yeah, they don't check ahead of time. I don't know. You'd think they would.
Yeah,
Yeah, they even had a transit bus that was the double decker.
yeah, that's what we were
Oh,
on.
you were on the, yeah.
Now we're getting those here.
In fact, I didn't see any of the traditional red.
Yeah, so they got rid of those. They
Yeah, they got rid of
with
them.
these modern white ones. I said,
Yeah.
well, you can just paint them red.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, they were. They all run on the British Leyland 2.4 liter engine, diesel engines or something. So probably not great for the environment.
In fact, it was funny because, well, it's not funny, it's just interesting. We got off the ferry because we were walking on the ferry, and which is free for seniors.
Yeah, no.
Like Sunday to Thursday or Monday to Thursday or something.
probably.
So it didn't cost these guys anything.
Yeah.
Then you get on the transit bus, which is this neat double-decker thing, and you ask for a day pass.
Uh-huh.
The guy on the bus sells it to you. It's $5.
Mm.
$5.
Yeah.
You can ride the bus all damn day.
Yeah.
We didn't.
Yeah,
We rode it twice, but it was still a hell of a deal.
yeah, I would say that's a cheap trip for them.
For them, yeah, no, exactly. And then I got all on my high horse. I'm like, well, you know what? These seniors, they got all the goddamn money in the world.
Yeah.
Could they not? How about $5?
Exactly.
Why don't they get to only pay $5, and then you drop me from 18 to 13?
Yeah. Exactly.
And everybody,
Everybody wins.
yeah. Or I still pay 18. You get an extra $5. It's still a hell of a deal.
Mm.
Ugh. Anyway.
Don't get them started on BC Ferry.
I was on, but one day I hope to be a senior, and I too will ride the ferry for free.
That's
And I'll go with my uncles again. They'll be in their,
Dotage? Well into their dotage?
they'll be doable.
Yeah.
Not doable. Sorry guys, you know what I mean. They listen.
Drinkable. They'll be able to drink still.
So I gotta wait 15 years.
Mm.
Yeah, keep up the good work.
Well, I'm gonna.
Yeah.
Do my best.
Keep on drinking.
Keep on drinking.
Well, do I have a story? I wanted to tell you guys. I'm sorry, are we done with Clive's?
I think we're done with
You
Clive's.
enjoyed Clive's.
I enjoy it. I recommend Clive's.
I think we should all go to Clive's sometime.
Come on it.
I forgot what I was gonna say.
I don't know.
Tales of Eddie?
Tales of Eddie is what it was going to be. Tales of Eddie is huge.
Is it?
Oh, it's gone through the roof.
Oh.
Based on the fact that my Uncle Jack
Mm-hmm.
said, I got a kick out of that Tales of Eddie thing. Are you going to do more of those?
Of course we are.
I
Yeah.
said, yes.
Not today.
Not today,
Not today.
but we have 2 lined up.
Yeah.
Eddie was uncertain about whether we liked it or not, and I have not responded to him, unfortunately.
No,
He had to
keep
say,
him
no,
hanging.
we do like it, but he gave me 2 more. And my Uncle Jack, he said, I got a tale if you want to tell it. You can call it Tales of Johnny. Because I had forgotten about this. He used to deliver mail,
Oh,
briefly.
did he?
And he ended up delivering mail on our street.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah.
And he had his mail all organized, right? Because I guess, if you've ever seen a mail person come along, they quite often have a bunch of stuff already in their hand.
They're all pre-shuffled.
Yes. And what they do is they pre-shuffle it at the office, and then they stash it, I think, in pockets.
Pocket? Sure, I would.
How it works. He was coming up the walk of the people across the street from us, apparently. And they had a big long sidewalk, just a straight one from the street there, and then upstairs. And so he was walking in there and he was getting their mail ready.
Yeah.
And he heard somebody go, "Hey, Jake!"
That's not his name.
I know, the poor Uncle Jack, he has like 18 names. John, Jake, Jack, JJ. Hey, Jake! And it was my mom yelling from across the street. Enough that he turned his head and tripped because the cement was like an inch higher. He bent down and he went ass over tea kettle, he says. All of his mail flew up in the air. He was furious. Screamed at Mom. What are you doing? Why would you do that? And that was it. He had to, because his mail was all, he had to go back and sort it all again. So there you go. That's
They never spoke again.
loosely based on Tales of Eddie. It's
Yeah.
Tales of Johnny.
Wow.
Tales of Johnny. He doesn't have to call him Johnny.
No. So I got one little embarrassing story to tell from my life.
Okay.
Tales of Jason.
It's embarrassing for you,
It's embarrassing for me.
not me.
No, you guys are
Okay,
gonna.
we're good?
No, you guys are fine.
Oh, good.
It was, as I said at the beginning of our podcast, it was the Sneaky Dragon 400th episode.
Right.
And so they brought in multiple guests, much like they had done one time before for my cousin Dave's birthday. And so they started to record downstairs, and we were all upstairs, and we went down. And so I missed the beginning of the first guest, this lady that was talking about stuff. And then the next up was a comic book artist. She got up. And then next up went up these next 3 people who I had seen before. I hadn't seen the other guy. He was just the guy that was with them. And these are the people that did Bob and Margaret all those years ago. And so Ian, when he interviews them based on the last time, he brought up the fact that they won an Academy Award for Bob and Margaret.
Okay.
And, no, Bob's Birthday is what it's called. Then the TV show was called Bob and Margaret, but the actual short was called Bob's Birthday. National Film Board of Canada one, you can watch it online. Maybe I'll put it at the bottom. No, maybe I won't, because I'm so embarrassed about the whole thing.
Wow.
Which I'm going to tell Dave and Ian when I go on their show in the winter.
Yes.
So we're all sitting there in the basement waiting to do this. And they're being interviewed, and they're talking about stuff, and Ian jokingly says, "So who here in the room has won an Academy Award?" And the wife of Elizabeth Snowden and David Fine put up their hands, because they've won Academy Awards, and they were nominated this last time around for another one.
Really? Wow.
But the other guy, he puts up his hand too, and looks sheepishly out at us. And I'm like, oh, well, so must be, and sure enough, through the interview, it's only 10 minutes, they all went to film school together in England, and that's how they all know each other.
Great.
And so, again, I'm just being slow, because I'm like, well, here's this guy with them. He's so excited because they went to Galliano Island, they've done some touristy stuff.
Nice.
My initial thought was this guy has come over and they said, we're going to go do this podcast tonight, why don't you come along?
Yeah, just a guy.
Just a guy.
Yeah,
And then
well,
why don't you
makes
come
sense.
on too? Wouldn't that be neat? But no, he's won an Academy Award.
Oh, yeah. No.
Again, there's some discussion about this and how they all met, da-da-da-da-da. And then Ian tells a story. He said, "Oh, I just got to tell you this. This is so funny. One time I put on at my parents' place, I put on the wrong trousers, Wallace and Gromit's The Wrong Trousers, because I wanted them to see this thing. It's so funny." And he said they did not laugh at all. They did not laugh. And I'm laughing, and it just became more and more uncomfortable, like you're watching some sort of a sex scene. What did he? I forget what example he used, but I felt this was the most uncomfortable since I watched something with my parents. And he says, "Well, maybe I'm wrong. But no, the rest of the world has said that this is very funny, and so you are funny, and my family has no sense of humor." And so it goes off in my head, right? Like, so this guy's involved with Wallace and Gromit, and he tells a little story about working at Aardman Animation. And he goes, "Oh, so he knows them, so he's worked at Aardman Animation."
Was he the janitor or the accountant?
Right, exactly. He's a gaffer,
Yeah.
an assistant.
Maybe he did the sound effects.
So it wasn't until I got home and looked up Nick Park,
Yeah.
Academy Award winner Nick Park, multiple Academy Award winner Nick Park, creator of Wallace and Gromit,
Oh yeah.
and key player.
Yeah.
And I had no idea, and I just felt so stupid. Number one, that I didn't ask. That I'm, these ideas are sort of coming like, "Well, that's interesting. He worked on Wallace and Gromit. I think you'd talk about that a whole lot more if you worked on it."
Mall. Yeah.
And the fact that he's, I'm gonna put some of it back onto him to say that he worked at Aardman Studios. Like if somebody said, "I used to work at the Warner Brothers Studios," I don't know if I would.
What's your name? Jack Warner.
Yeah, exactly. Chuck Jones.
Yeah. I was.
You ever meet Humphrey Bogart? I worked with Bugs Bunny. Who? I don't know. So as it turned out, it was really cool, but I felt foolish afterwards.
Oh, it's better when it's cool in the moment, though, not retrospectively cool.
No, exactly.
Did you talk about anything else, or did you share a bagel? Or?
Well, here's the unfortunate thing. We were all sort of sitting around. Like, imagine if we had people watching us do this right now.
Just over there?
That's right. That's what we were doing.
Yeah.
But when they were done, they went upstairs, and by the time we were done, they left. And I'm like, at first I was like, well, why wouldn't they wait around and watch? I mean, we all stood around and watched you. Yeah. We watched the Academy Award winners.
Yeah.
What about me? I have a podcast with my friends called The Gentleman of Elegant Leisure.
Yeah, we're this close to Nick Carter?
Anyway, Nick Park. So Nick Park, he's a great guy. I did not
vouch for that.
I did not even meet him because he was just a guy that came in. There was no introductions that were done. It was like everybody understood except for me. But then I'm not outgoing enough to go up and introduce myself.
I've noticed that before.
Exactly. In fact, what's your name again? I'm sorry, I've never been formally.
I'd rather not say.
So that's my story. I don't have any.
No, it's not bad.
It's not bad.
It's it's a little comfortable.
So Nick Park, if you're listening, Jason would like to shake your hand.
I would love to. I would
love to shake.
I'd love to pepper this guy's question.
Yeah, bump fists or whatever the British do.
Because I mean, it's. I mean, we all know. I think we all know Wallace and Gromit. Do you not know Wallace and Gromit? And I got to thinking as I found out about this. I've seen Paul McCartney live.
Yes.
Twice. Once at BC Place. Once at the Tacoma Dome. I've been to a Grey Cup game back when people cared about Grey Cup games.
Exactly.
I went and saw Monty Python live at the O2. My point of this.
You saw one of the Sherman Brothers.
Yeah, that's not that.
No.
I'm not talking about famous people that I've seen.
Yeah.
I'm talking about groups of people that I've seen.
Right.
I have physically laid eyes because I've been in these events.
Right.
And I'm not the only one that's done this. You guys have done this as well. I'm just using it as my example. There's other ones too, but I was thinking of these big events. I've looked out at thousands and thousands of people.
Yeah.
I haven't seen their faces individually, but I've physically seen thousands and thousands of people. And this guy has made millions more of the amount of people. He's made more people that I've seen happy with his work. He's made millions and millions of people happy. He's made more people laugh than I have physically seen in my life.
That's an interesting perspective.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Yeah.
Got a lot of time in your hands.
Which of these drinks do we prefer, boy?
I finished them both, and they're both.
I topped yours up again because I thought that the proportion of the I think they were a little bit too liney.
And I still finished it.
Yeah, your product sucks, and Leonard Cohen is a god.
Well, that's all true. But it's an interesting product. You say it's $6.99 Canadian?
$6.99 Canadian. Now it's on sale right now. Normally it's $10.99, which is still ridiculously cheap.
At the government liquor store.
At the government liquor store. Or you can drive down to a winery down the road and buy their product for $27. Or you can get it shipped from Argentina.
Yeah. I know, it's crazy. This is worth trying. I think it's something people should do. If you're in a place where you can get this.
Yeah. New age.
Yeah, it's
very good.
It's an interesting wine. I don't know if it's how it stacks up for wine people, but those wine people. But I think it makes a good base for a cocktail. So just with the twist of lime, and I think maybe if you decided later to add a splash of gin.
Speaking of the splash, just try a little bit of it straight here. Just a little bit. Even though it's not very much. Not even a little bit?
Nah.
Okay. I have to see how sweet it is on its own. It tastes like a weird cooler.
Yeah.
Like in a good way, but a weird cooler.
Yeah, it does. But no, it's quite pleasant. And it does have there's more fruit going on in there than a wine should have, or would have normally, I think.
Yes.
From my limited experience of wines. But it's $6.99.
$6.99, you can't go wrong.
Crap.
Spin cut to you in the ditch.
Yeah. Oops.
That's just it.
That one thing. But no, but the needle, and I don't know how much of it is due to the reposado, the aging of the tequila, this one that we happen to use.
Right.
But I think anytime you're dealing with a cocktail that's got two ingredients, they should both be the best you can get. And of course, the president's choice.
It's the president.
It's the president.
Yes. Blah, blah, blah.
blah, blah, blah.
Love
President of president's choice. Thank you for saying that.
My pleasure. Well, thank you guys for getting together at this short notice to come with this special episode.
We're right up against our deadline here.
Take it home right now and put on a beginning and an end and take out the bad bit in the middle where we just talk about it.
It'll be good. It'll be good.
Suddenly stop.
Alrighty.
So remember.
I'll get you some pictures.
Always.
Tip.
Big?
Big?
Tip big. Tip big.
Tip